Someone is finally shutting up Kristi Noem. And thank God, because not only is the Trump administration quite literally waging a war against American citizens right now, they are also waging a war against the truth and against the media reporting on that reality. Today we saw J.D. Vance blame the press for violence and unrest when maybe, just maybe, the real problem is the completely untrained, unqualified, and out-of-control ICE agents. And that is exactly why Ari Melber kicked Kristi Noem off the air, cut her off, and made it absolutely clear that she was lying. We're going to break it all down. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, hit that subscribe button because it really helps support our work. And it's not just Ari Melber shutting Kristi Noem down. One of the most important condemnations just came from Congressman Jared Moskowitz, who slammed Noem for caring more about her wardrobe than human lives.
You know, we heard about this domestic terrorism thing. Right? Domestic terrorism. That was the first thing we heard. I have a question. This is the person who within minutes of the shooting, went on TV and called it domestic terrorism. What, is she hiding her face like her ICE agents now? She can't show her face either? By the way, is this what the $800 billion went to? Every day we see her after there's some new tragedy in Homeland, she's wearing a different outfit with a different hat. I mean, come on, guys, she looks ridiculous. She's not just an embarrassment to the country. She's an embarrassment to you and the president. Okay, she deserves to be removed from her job by the president, and if not impeached, not just for her complete failures in Homeland, but her destruction of FEMA. She's not even running the department. You guys know this. You guys know she's not running Homeland. Your governors and you all, when you need your FEMA money, you don't call Noem, you call Corey. You know she's not running the place. She's a complete and utter embarrassment. By the way, every Homeland Secretary has come in front of this committee once a Congress. I'd like to know the date she's coming. When is she coming?
When is she coming? When is she coming?
When is she coming? By the way, do you know Pam Bondi has not come in front of this committee? Do you know she's the only secretary to not appear in front of a committee yet? When is she coming? What's the date on the calendar that she's coming? You know what? Let's make it easy. I want to make a motion to subpoena Pam Bondi.
Second.
To this committee.
Third, fourth, fifth.
Finally, someone said it. Let's be honest. Kristi Noem and everyone in this administration is absolutely consumed by insecurity. Donald Trump didn't just surround himself with people who love being on television and hate actually doing their jobs. He deliberately brought in people who are just as insecure as he is. They live for political theater. They puff out their chests, act tough, and pretend they're strong leaders when in reality, they are the exact opposite. Weak, insecure, and terrified of accountability. And at long last, we're finally seeing the media call them out. Even more importantly, we're seeing Democrats in Congress step up with articles of impeachment against Kristi Noem, making it crystal clear to her and everyone else in this corrupt administration. Accountability is coming, and you will be held responsible.
And if my Republican colleagues are going to do nothing right now, you better believe that accountability is coming. Here's what it looks like. The masks are coming off. Identification is coming out. Immunity is going to be stripped. And to Kristi Noem, Tom Cashbag Homan, and Greg Bovino, your asses are going to be in these witness chairs.
This is the only language they understand. Let's be honest about that. The only things they respond to are fear and accountability, telling them to preserve their emails, their phone records, every document, every message. Do not destroy video evidence. Do not pull another missing minutes from Epstein's prison cameras stunt. That isn't going to work this time. They are already trying it in Minneapolis. Tim Walz said today that this investigation is going to be harder because they've already started deleting video, but it's not going to save them. They will be held accountable. And that really begins with the media, which is why I was genuinely glad to see Ari Melber cut off Kristi Noem's press conference and straight up explain that she is lying.
Since Governor Walz has been in charge of Minnesota, we have seen homicides go up by over 50%. That's also during Mayor Frye's tenure as well. Since President Trump took office, Governor Walz has released over 470 violent criminals back onto the streets here in Minneapolis. He has another 680 of them still within his jurisdiction that he could give to us today to face the consequences for their crimes. Because Governor Walz and Mayor Frye refuse to protect Minnesotans and instead they protect these criminals, that's why we're here. And we didn't just show up yesterday, we've always been here.
Everybody in the media needs to be doing this. Every single outlet. Right now, the right wing is trying to go to war with reality, as they always do, but especially in this moment. Twisting the truth, calling this a domestic terrorism attack, which is one of the most absurd claims I've ever heard. They're trying to justify the actions of these officers and pretend that Renee Good, a woman who had her life stolen, was somehow a criminal. It is absolutely insane to claim that a woman simply trying to drive away from ICE agents harassing her and her community is a criminal. And even beyond that, MAGA, do you hear yourselves? Police do not get to murder people in the streets even if they had committed crimes, let alone ICE agents who aren't real law enforcement, who are untrained, unqualified, and by design are meant to be that way. People are finally waking up to the fact that the chaos, unrest, distrust. This is the point. I always return to that Russ Vought quote I've repeated too many times to count. I want federal workers to feel traumatized. That mindset has now extended to all of us. Trump and his administration want people to believe the government is not just failing us, but actively hunting us, surveilling us, policing us. We watched a woman speak out against Trump's illegal strike on Venezuela that has cost hundreds of lives. Doing a simple interview on local news, and in that same clip, ICE thugs swooped in and dragged her away for supposedly blocking the street and disturbing the peace, yes, whatever that even means. This is a living nightmare, but it's intentional. They want fear. They want communities broken. They want people scared to speak. They thrive on chaos. The endless distractions, the constant look over here, is what lets them get away with everything. These are deeply broken people doing deeply dangerous, deranged, disgusting things. That is the Trump administration. It's not just the Botox filling Kristi Noem's face that seems to have gone to her head. It's the belief that she is untouchable, unaccountable, able to do whatever she wants. That arrogance is baked into this administration. From day one, they believed they could run wild because Trump openly promised protection. If you commit violence for me, I'll shield you. January 6th, rioters get pardons. Anyone who inflicts pain on his enemies gets defended. But as Eric Swalwell said, there will be accountability. And that's exactly what Congresswoman Yasmin Ansari just called out in a clip you absolutely need to see.
In my district on Christmas Eve, a woman named Flor, a DACA recipient, was detained while Christmas shopping. Why is ICE spending resources to detain a DACA recipient on Christmas Eve? They claim they are going after, quote, real criminals, and that too is a lie. Just days ago, ICE agents detained 2 day laborers outside a Home Depot in Phoenix, briefly detaining a U.S. citizen in the process. These people are not criminals. This isn't law enforcement. This is a federal agency operating outside of its mandate, using fear as a tactic to spread fear and chaos in our neighborhoods. And it's no coincidence because Stephen Miller is rapidly hiring tens of thousands of new ICE agents. Many are poorly trained. Many have troubling backgrounds, all to meet this reckless mass deportation agenda that he has set out. We've been sounding the alarm for well over a year, and now the worst has happened. An American woman has died. That is why I'm introducing legislation to rein in ICE, demand transparency, and stop the unchecked funding that enables these abuses. I'm also joining as an original co-sponsor in an effort led by my colleague, Congresswoman Robin Kelly, to introduce articles of impeachment against Kristi Noem, the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. I urge my colleagues, Democrats and Republicans alike, to join us. A woman has been murdered. Silence is no longer neutrality, it is complicity. We must rein in ICE, we must demand accountability.
There will be accountability. There has to be impeachments. And I hate that I'm already hearing some Democrats hedging, saying things like, well, maybe we should only focus on going after the right now, as if accountability is optional. No, when Democrats fail, I am going to say it too. We cannot fall into this cowardly mindset of, well, I don't know if impeachment hearings will be popular, or will this distract from talking about Medicare? If Kristi Noem is presiding over a system where people are being killed in the streets, she must be impeached, period. There is no serious negotiation to be had about ICE's budget. Their budget should be zero. No money for Botox, no money for murderers, no money for private jets, nothing. Abolish ICE. That is not some extreme position. It is the only moral and rational position. And we are going to keep saying that on this show every single day. If you want to support that, as always, leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you watched all the way to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.